and thoughts to be kind, helpful. May we listen with open hearts and seek your wisdom. Amen. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I will ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Councilmember Jones.
Here.
Councilmember Reesner.
Here.
Councilmember Snee.
Here.
Councilmember Doherty.
Here.
Councilmember Decker.
Here.
Councilmember Hayes.
Here.
And Councilmember Horniman.
Here.
Let the record show all 7 members of council are present this evening. Minutes from February 17th, regular and committee of the whole minutes were distributed. Are there any questions, corrections, or deletions? Yeah.
I have a correction. When I mentioned that there was an event at Allen Irie, I originally mentioned it was March 18th. It's actually March 10th.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
All right, we'll make that change. Okay, if nothing else on the minutes, we are under committee reports, starting with Finance Committee. Councilmember Reesner.
No report, Madam President.
Law and Community Planning, Councilmember Doherty.
No report, Madam President.
Materials and Equipment, Councilmember Jones.
No report, Madam President.
Personnel and Labor Relations, Councilmember Decker.
I do have a report. The Personnel and Labor Committee meeting was held Monday, February 23rd, 2026 in council chambers. Attending were council members Ashley Decker, John Hayes, Kyle Doherty, and Aaron Jones. Also attending were Mayor Lee Wilkinson, Director of Law Zachary Fowler, and City Administrator Nick Dutro. The purpose of the meeting was to discuss Mayor's request for legislation 2609, appointments to various boards and commissions, and 2611, reappointment to Tree Commission. Councilmember Decker called the meeting to order at 5:15 p.m. The mayor proceeded by offering background information on each appointment. Starting with the reappointment of Brenda Young to Tree Commission. Brenda was formerly the Executive Assistant to Public Works. When she retired, she wanted to stay involved and join the Tree Commission. She's been a good member of the commission, and the mayor would like to see her continue. For the Thomas Connor Memorial Commission, 2 seats needed to be filled for this position that have resigned. Up for consideration are William Lafferty and Jeremy Cripps. Mr. Lafferty is currently a part-time chaplain for on-call nursing homes. He has a master's of theological studies. The mayor interviewed him and feels like he's a good fit. Also up for consideration is Jeremy Cripps, former finance director of the city of Tiffin. Mr. Cripps is retired and ready to be back and help out. The mayor interviewed him twice. The Julia M. Weller Memorial Commission has 1 reappointment and 1 new appointment to be filled. For reappointment is Deborah Baker. Baker is a former Columbian high school teacher. The mayor called Ms. Baker to confirm her desire to continue serving. For new appointment is Mary Phillips. Ms. Phillips was on the commission years ago and has helped with the Historic Trust and other nonprofits. She also works part-time at Simply Susan's. The Civil Service Commission has 1 new appointment for consideration due to a recent resignation. Both the police chief and the fire chief recommended Chris Mansour for the position. Chris was on city council previously and has served on the Civil Service Commission prior to that. Mary Phillips is also considered for the Fair Housing Board. The mayor notes that individuals may serve on more than 1 commission. However, he prefers not to appoint any one individual to more than 2. Kathy Kaufman is being considered for the Investment Advisory Committee. Ms. Kaufman recently retired from the finance director position. The mayor notes that she's a good fit because she is familiar with existing investments. Administrator Dutro noted that Kathy is replacing Wayne Wax, and the city appreciates his service and time. Councilmember Decker asked how these positions were advertised. The administrator responded that a general call advertising that there were opportunities to serve local government went out on social media, the website, and through a press release. There were some responses and interest as well as a result. The mayor noted that there will be additional appointments in upcoming meetings. Administrator Dutro noted that anyone that serves has to be registered to vote and within city limits. No one is allowed that is currently taking payments from the city of Tiffin. These are primarily voluntary positions. However, some boards do have payments, for example, the Board of Health. These commissions are not directed by the city. They set policy and agenda and ultimately create recommendations for council to consider. Councilmember Hayes made a motion for Law Director Fowler to draft legislation for approval of all appointments and reappointments written in the mayor's request for legislation 2609 and 2611. Councilmember Doherty seconded the motion. Motion passed 3-0. Meeting adjourned at 5:53 p.m., 5:35 p.m., sorry.
Any questions on that committee report? Recreation and Public Property, Councilmember Sinea.
No report at this time, Madam President.
Thank you. Streets, Sidewalks, and Sewers, Councilmember Hayes.
No report, Madam President.
Thank you. And Economic Development and Downtown Planning, Councilmember Herniman.
No report, Madam President.
Okay. Does anyone see the need to schedule a committee of the whole meeting? Right. We are under reports of the officers. His Honor, Mayor Lee Wilkinson.
Thank you, Madam President. I have a couple of announcements first. There was a couple of water issues in the city of Tiffin over the last couple of weeks. We had 3 water main breaks at different times in different locations. So I just want to get this number out there for anyone who notices a drastic reduction in water pressure or any other issues with the water. That is handled by Aqua Ohio, and they have a customer service number, 877-987-2782. And you can also find them on the web at, I just Googled it. I just Googled Aqua Customer Service and it came right up. And they have a map of any water outages or service interruptions that you can see there. Also want to update the public on something that we passed late last year. Now that the weather is warm and people are out walking again and walking their dogs, we did an update to our dog leash law. The original ordinance that was published, I don't know how far back, had references to cattle, horses, swine, sheep, geese, chickens, and a myriad of farm animals that people were supposed to keep on their property. So we kind of updated that, and so I just want to go over the highlights, if that's okay. So mostly no animal is permitted to run at large in this city. And there's like 3 parts of that. If I'm addressing mostly dogs now. So if the dog is on the property of the owner, the dog needs to be either leashed or behind a fence, or at least under reasonable control of the owner. Anything beyond the property of the owner, the dog needs to be on a leash. And we had to just simplify that a little bit because it was difficult for the police departments to determine whether or not they were complying or not when someone had their dog out in public if they were not on a leash. So we just went to must be on a leash if it's not on your property, unless the dog is in a fenced dog park. And if it's in the dog park, then the dog can be off a leash, but should be in the sight of the owner, and the owner should be able to maintain control of the dog at that point. So just keep those things in mind. I did see someone out at Kroger's earlier, I guess it was last week, and I think they were training their dog, but the dog was off a leash, but you could tell that some people walking past the activity were a little uncomfortable with that. So keep that in mind. Your dog might be well-trained, but keep it on a leash because the people around you might not be comfortable with your dog being off a leash, okay? All right, we have a couple of special presentations. Do we have somebody here from the State Auditor's Office?
That's me.
We do, okay, good. So if you would like
I am
to...
unsuccessfully trying to leash train my cat, so
Okay.
sure how well that will go. Mr. Mayor, Madam President, members of council, thank you for having me. I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I am the Northwest Regional Liaison for Auditor of State Keith Faber, who asked me to come here tonight and present an award. The Auditor of State Award is given to less than 10% of the 6,000 entities that the Auditor of State's office examines on an annual or biannual basis. So it's an honor to present the Auditor of State Award on behalf of Keith Faber to Jill and finance team and all of you. Thank you for all of your hard work and transparency and accountability for taxpayer money.
Now, yeah, while you're here,
And I see Ms. Kaufman is here, and I thought she was retiring, and I hear you're trying to drag her back in.
we tried to drag Kathy back in because she was actually the finance director during the period of time for which the award was given. So if Kathy would like to come forward and.
And if it pleases the court, may I take a picture up here somewhere?
Absolutely. I think this would be appropriate for both Jill and Kathy to come up and receive the award.
That was cute.
How many of these is it? Oh, well, you hop in there first. Go ahead. Sorry. Why don't you get in there, too? Okay, we'll get one of them. They don't need me for our own newsletter. Thank you. Congratulations. I'll see you soon, I'm sure. It's good to see you. Thank you, everyone. Do you always take Nick's microphone away at the, do you not let him talk
Yes.
during the meetings?
Yes.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, and I just want to extend another thank you to Kathy Kaufman and all of the hard work that she has done over the years to keep our finances in order. And this is, how many auditor awards have you won at this point in time?
You
4?
would know because I am so new, I don't know how to look that up yet.
This would be number 5 for
Number 5. So that's an awesome accomplishment. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me to come in tonight.
Thank you for taking the time. Okay, I also have a proclamation. And I believe we have some guests here from the School of Opportunity. And March is Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month. So this proclamation is in recognition of that. So whereas Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month provides an opportunity to recognize the abilities, contributions, and inherent dignity of individuals with developmental disabilities, and whereas individuals with developmental disabilities are valued members of our communities who enrich our society through their diverse talents, perspectives, and experiences, and whereas building inclusive communities requires collective commitment, understanding, and collaboration among individuals, families, caregivers, educators, employers, service providers, and community partners, whereas support systems, formal and informal, play a critical role in empowering individuals with developmental disabilities to live self-directed, meaningful, and fulfilling lives. And whereas the theme, Stronger Together, Your Support Matters, emphasizes that when communities come together to provide acceptance, advocacy, and opportunity, everyone benefits. And whereas raising awareness helps break down barriers, challenge stigma, and promote policies and practices that ensure equity, access, and full participation for individuals with developmental disabilities. Now, therefore, I hereby proclaim the month of March as Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month and encourage all residents to recognize the importance of inclusion, celebrate diversity, and reaffirm their shared responsibility to support individuals with developmental disabilities and their families. And thank you for all that you do and for all that everyone at the School of Opportunity does. I do have a couple other things to announce that are coming up this month, but I would like to present this proclamation to you now, if I could. I'm going to shake your hand first. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay. We're going to stand right here. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, yeah, I'm going to announce a couple of these, unless you would like to. I can do that. Oh, yeah, go ahead. That'd be great. They do have some events coming up for the School of Opportunity.
Jerry and I would just like to thank you for the proclamation and the community's continued support. As you know, our theme this year, Stronger Together, Your Support Matters. We just thank Tiffin for making it a truly inclusive place to be. So we are going to celebrate all month. So we have several events. Bakery Bingo is Thursday, March 12th. Doors open at 4:30 and bingo begins at 5:30. It's usually pretty packed, so come early. This fundraiser is for Unity. It's our largest Unity fundraiser, and that is for a conference planned by individuals for individuals with disabilities that we hold annually at Sawmill Creek, an overnight conference that we really enjoy every year. On March 21st, it's World Down Syndrome Day, so we invite you to rock your unique socks and share your support for those individuals we celebrate with the triplication of the 21st chromosome, or people with Down syndrome. And then our largest event is a celebrity basketball game held at Heidelberg's Cyberlane Gym on Thursday, the 26th. Doors open at 6 o'clock. Come see Special Olympics athletes and local celebrities, who I think maybe one is in the room, I don't know if anymore, that are going to match up, and that benefits our Seneca Arrows Special Olympics program. Lastly, we are holding our annual drive-through Palm Sunday dinner on March 29th. It's $12. It's a chicken and or ham dinner with mashed potatoes and gravy, green beans, a roll, and coleslaw, and dessert. And this is our largest at-council fundraiser, which ACT is like our parent group or a PTO group that sponsors Christmas presents for everyone involved in our program throughout the year. So we thank you very much for your time, and we hope to see you at these events in March.
Hey, thank you very much. Hey, for that Palm Sunday drive-through ham chicken dinner, the pre-orders are due by March 13th,
Yes,
so that's
thank
coming
you.
up in about 2 weeks.
Yes, coming up soon. You can order online this year, which is even better. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, I have one more announcement. The health department, Seneca County Health Departments, they'll be hosting an event for Tiffin residents on March 4th. That's coming up at the Faith United Methodist Church at 75 North Sandusky Street. And they will have the mobile clinic there and offer free preventative care for community members who are uninsured or seeking linkages to a physician or mental health professional. They'll have free screenings and blood pressure checks and some other things, along with immunizations for children and adults. Those do have a small cost. So bring your health insurance card if you have one, driver's license, vaccination record if you want to get a vaccination. There will be a free lunch served between noon and 2 for those people who are going. And if you have questions or need further information, call the Seneca County General Health District at 419-447-3691. So that's coming up this week, March 4th. And lastly, I would like to introduce Daniela. Daniela, I don't know your last name, but Daniela is a student at Tiffin University, and she has a public service announcement about dental health, something that we can all learn from.
Hello. I believe I have a presentation as well.
It'll be coming up in just a minute.
Okay. Well, while we wait, okay, perfect. Hi, my name is Daniela Garner. I am a junior who attends Tiffin University. My hopes and dreams are to become a dentist. And I am currently a part of the Ronald Reagan Civics Leaders Fellowship Program. And through that program, I've learned a lot about civic participation and how a regular person can get involved in any way with trying to better their community. The project that I decided to work on is an advocacy project to increase access and equity in dental health. First, I would like to say that I conducted a random sample survey across Seneca County. First, we can discuss the data that I collected. As you can see, this is a bell curve. I was able to collect people from a good range. You can see people from who can easily afford dental care at 5 and people who can't afford dental care at 1, where most of my sample is right in the middle, which is just perfect. When asked how often do you visit a dentist, only 58% said they visit every 6 months, which is the recommended amount. However, if you look at the other amount, rarely/never, only when there's a problem, or only once a year, that is a pretty large amount, and it suggests that there must be some hidden reasons why. When asked, have you ever delayed dental care due to costs? 35% said yes. While that is the minority in this pie chart, it is still a striking percentage. When asked, have you ever had difficulty understanding dental instruction, treatment plans, or costs because of a language barrier? 7% said yes. So specifically my project, I looked at the affordability barriers and language barriers in dental care and how we can overcome those. According to this statistic, language barriers are not too big of a problem. So I looked more at the affordability barrier. When asked if you were aware of any programs to help reduce dental costs, only 15% said yes and 85% said no. I would like to emphasize that this is a very striking number, and most people, a part of this community, should be aware of policies and resources that can help their healthcare. My last question that I asked is, patients should have more input in healthcare policy decisions. 87% said yes. I would like you to know that this 87% saying yes are people that want to get involved in making their healthcare experience better, and they want to get involved, but probably not sure how. Now I want to look at some testimonies. When asked what changes would most improve access to dental care in your community, one said knowing where to go for information, and another said affordability. It just highlights simply that there is a lack of awareness of where to go for information to increase their affordability and access to dental care, and affordability, of course. Another question I asked is, can you describe a personal experience where cost or language made dental care difficult for you or someone you know? One said, at one point, I didn't have insurance and broke a tooth. The cost was a large amount, so I delayed treatment. Another said, during last year, my sister had horrible tooth pain and she couldn't even sleep. We didn't want to do anything about it because of the cost, so we bought pain medicine. Just showing delayed care due to not being able to afford it. Another said, I avoided a procedure due to $1,500 out-of-pocket costs, but we will eventually need it. Another said, my daughter was born without 8 permanent teeth. So once she lost her baby teeth, we have been under the care of an orthodontist for over 10 years. We have paid almost $60,000 and work is still not complete. Just to find out, we could have done permanent implants for $25,000. That one is it's a striking quote for me, simply because lack of communication with dental care or dental health workers, and it also has to do with the affordability. $60,000 compared to $25,000. Imagine their experience. That is a crazy number, and that money could have been allocated towards something else more needed in their life, if you will. My last question is, what would you want policymakers or dental professionals to understand about your experience? One said dental insurance isn't talked about often. Another said that no one understands insurance, be upfront about costs and make it affordable. Another said insurance covers costs, but patients are still left with high costs and medical debt. Another said procedures that are not needed but would improve living are often dealt with and never fixed. That is something that I think is not talked about enough. There are common people walking around the streets of Tiffin, Seneca County, currently dealing with pain in their teeth, and they're not seeking that care because the cost is not worth the trouble. Meanwhile, they are still experiencing so much pain. Another said that understand that when a patient doesn't feel heard or understood, they feel less likely to ask for help. This means it's easier to avoid service due to fear of being misunderstood and not being able to afford, rather than asking their questions because of the fear of not being fully understood or not having the funds to pay for service. Another said there's a lot of fear that people have with dentists. It's helpful to be understood and have accommodations for that. And with these quotes, I would like to highlight that there's more barriers to dental care than just affordability and language barriers and not being able to understand healthcare professionals, or the fear of not being understood by healthcare professionals. There's also transportation, which is a quite big one since we're in a rural area, and also the general fear of the dentist. And you can go to the next one. After receiving all the data from my survey, I created this flyer in hopes of trying to increase awareness of policies that are beneficial and that can aid healthcare, dental healthcare. However, I bring to you guys this question: how can we improve access to dental care? There are many ways, actually, I've seen in multiple different states and many different ways in rural, urban, suburban areas. I tried contacting the Seneca County General Health District Administration. However, I wasn't able to even get an email due to a firewall on the website. It took a very long time, and I still wasn't able to achieve that email. Another thing I've seen across other states and counties is free dental clinics and federally funded healthcare systems. While I do say those last two bullet points are something for just thought, I do think that there are ways, I'm not sure how myself, that we can try and increase that awareness of policies such as Medicare and Medicaid and other things that are being placed by the Seneca County General Health District. And that's all I have today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I do have one thing, for dentists. I don't know if this is a language barrier or not, but whenever they say you're going to feel a slight pinch, what they really mean is this is going to hurt a lot. Things like that. So trying to get the language correct so that the understanding is the same on both sides would be good. But thank you very much for that information.
Thank you.
That's the reason I had you up there is right after the announcement about the health district having their mobile health unit at the church coming up this week. See, something similar to that could be done with dental care as well. Mobile dental care units that would travel around, especially to schools during the school year. Start children young. Help them out.
I love that idea. I will say, I feel like that is a great idea to mention to one of the personnel in the General Health District. However, I have actually no idea how to get in contact with them at all. Like, I tried going through their website, but it wasn't working for me. Do you guys have any idea how?
We'll get you in touch with them.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. And that concludes my report.
All right, thank you. Clerk of Council, Ann Forrest.
No report, Madam President.
Okay, Director of Finance, Jill Lindhorst.
Thank you, Madam President. I do have one request for legislation, F26-06, to amend the 2026 Budget Ordinance 25-98. This is to appropriate $10,396.51 to the general fund for an insurance payment received for damages due to a leak in City Hall. And that concludes my report.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. And Director of Law, Zach Fowler.
Yeah, thank you, Madam President. I do have a few items for council. So in your packet, I just wanted to speak on a few pieces of legislation. Didn't get to say this at committee of the whole, but Councilmember Decker, who's newer, and there's a question about passing the legislation on the appointments. So just kind of for your information, what's in the charter says the mayor announces an appointment to one of the boards or commissions at one regular meeting of council, and then at the next one, council votes on those appointments. So that's why it just gets passed in one reading. Hopefully it helps you out in the future. But then I wanted to talk on a couple of things. I think I mentioned that the codified ordinances were to be updated. So that is ordinance 2618. The clerk's already aware, but per the charter, there is a publication that has to be made before you can vote on that. So it'll generally track for 3 readings. So that advertisement can be made. If you do visit the website, though, the publisher has already updated it, so you can see the current version there. Will get mailed, and I think it's 5 replacements.
They were received, I forgot to tell you.
I don't think any of you keep a paper copy, but I will take one. And then ordinance 2619, that's the dedication of that extension of Walker Street. That's over by the field house at Heidelberg. The Planning Commission has approved that plat. That got recorded last week. So that dedication is ready to go. It's already being used as a city street. The city engineers, part of the plat approval process, is signed off and said that that street's ready to be accepted. So that would be ripe for a suspension. Generally, it is done that way and passed with emergency, so it puts the street fully under city care at that point. So that would be ready for a suspension and a passage. And that is all I have. That concludes my report.
Thank you. All right, that takes us to written communications.
We have Mayor's request for legislation number 26-12, Tax Incentive Review Council recommendations.
Mayor's request for legislation number 26-12 is assigned to the Economic Development and Downtown Planning Committee.
Mayor's request for legislation number 26-13, Longevity for Police and Fire Chiefs.
Mayor's request for legislation number 26-13 is assigned to the Personnel and Labor Relations Committee.
Mayor's request for legislation number 26-14, CHIP Program 2026.
Mayor's request for legislation number 26-14 is assigned to the Law and Community Planning Committee.
Mayor's request for legislation number 26-15, appointments to various boards and commissions.
Mayor's request for legislation number 26-15 is assigned to Personnel and Labor Relations Committee.
Mayor's request for legislation number 26-16, temporary moratorium on data centers.
Mayor's request for legislation number 26-16 is assigned to the Law and Community Planning Committee.
Mayor's request for legislation number 26-17, farm lease agreement.
Mayor's request for legislation number 26-17 is assigned to Law and Community Planning Committee.
Mayor's request for legislation number 26-18, appointment to ADA Advisory Committee.
Mayor's request for legislation number 26-18 is assigned to Personnel and Labor Relations.
Finance Director's request for legislation number F26-06 to amend the 2026 Budget Ordinance 2025-98 to appropriate funds in the general fund.
Finance Director's request for legislation number F26-06 is prepared this evening as ordinance 26-20.
And the Finance Director's letter dated February 11th regarding unclaimed funds as per an attached list.
Thank you. This will be held on file in the clerk's office.
And then there was a letter from Frontier Community Services dated February 13th regarding the villas of Seneca Place.
Thank you. This will also be held on file.
And that concludes the written communications.
Thank you. We are now, oh, sorry, yes.
If I may.
Please.
So I wanted to speak on that letter, and I forgot my report, but I'll just direct you all, if you're looking in your packet at that letter, the bottom of that letter on the first page, off to the left, it says right to submit comments. So that's telling you that this basically comes from a state law, but the developer, and if this kind of goes back to that CRA number 4 expansion that you all passed. So the developer for that Villas of Seneca Place, because of the financing they're doing, they're required by state law to give you this notice. And at the bottom describes your right, which is that if you have objections to this proposed development, you have 30 days to submit that in writing. And as it says, it would be something passed by council by a majority, so a resolution, if you will. So that is why you got this letter, is to tell you that you have that time frame. If you have some sort of objection to this development, now's your time. And then on the next page, it would tells you then that if you're making those comments, where those go, which is to the Ohio Housing Finance Agency. So I just want to put that on your radar, that that's the purpose of why you got this letter.
Got it. Thank Thank you for that. Sorry, I'm just thinking it might make sense then to, given the amount of committee meetings we have going on, to put this as one of those items. Try to leverage an existing one. Would the Law and Community Planning like to take this? Okay. Sorry.
And Madam President?
Yes.
What number was that again? I'm sorry.
It is the last, it's the letter, the Frontier Community Services letter.
No problem. I like it. Definitely.
Perfect, thank you. Thank you for that call out, Law Director.
You're welcome.
Okay, we are now under oral communications. Anyone wishing to address council may step to the podium and sign in and direct their questions to myself. Okay, seeing none, do we have any motions this evening? All right, we are now under resolutions and ordinances.
Resolution number 2026-29, introduced by Ashley Decker. Resolution approving mayor's appointment of William Lockerty to serve a 5-year term on the Thomas Connor Memorial Commission from January 1st, 2026 until December 31st, 2030.
This is the first reading of Resolution 26-29.
Madam President, I move to adopt Resolution 2629.
Okay, there's a motion for passage of Resolution 26-29. Is there a second? Councilmember Dougherty.
I second that motion, Madam President.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, we can vote on the passage.
Councilmember Jones.
Yes.
Dougherty.
Yes.
Decker.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
Horniman.
Yes.
Reesner.
Yes.
And Snee.
Yes.
Resolution 26-29 passes with a vote of 7-0.
Resolution number 2026-30, introduced by Ashley Decker. A resolution approving mayor's appointment of Jeremy G. Cripps to serve a 5-year term on the Thomas Connor Memorial Commission from January 1st, 2026 until December 31st, 2030.
Thank you. This is the first reading of Resolution 26-30. Councilmember Decker.
Madam President, I move for passage of Resolution 2630.
Thank you. There's a motion for passage of Resolution 26-30. Is there a second? Councilmember Hayes.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. Motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, we can vote on the passage.
Councilmember Jones.
Yes.
Reesner.
Yes.
Snee.
Yes.
Dougherty.
Yes.
Decker.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
And Horniman.
Yes.
Resolution 26-30 passes with a vote of 7-0.
Resolution number 2026-31, introduced by Ashley Decker. A resolution approving mayor's appointment of Mary Phillips to serve a 5-year term on the Julia M. Weller Memorial Commission from January 1st, 2026 until December 31st, 2030.
This is the first reading of Resolution 26-31. Councilmember Decker.
I move for passage of Resolution 2631.
Thank you. There's a motion for passage of Resolution 26-31. Is there a second? Councilmember Dougherty.
I'd like to second that motion, Madam President.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, we will vote on the passage.
Councilmember Jones.
Yes.
Reesner.
Yes.
Snee.
Yes.
Dougherty.
Yes.
Decker.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
And Horniman.
Yes.
Resolution 26-31 passes with a vote of 7-0.
Resolution number 2026-32, introduced by Ashley Decker. Resolution approving mayor's reappointment of Deborah Baker to serve a 5-year term on the Julia M. Weller Memorial Commission from January 1st, 2026 until December 31st, 2030.
This is the first reading of Resolution 26-32. Councilmember Decker.
Madam President, I move to adopt Resolution 2632.
Thank you. There's a motion for passage of Resolution 26-32. Is there a second? Councilmember Herdeman?
I'll second that motion, Madam President.
Thank you. There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, we will vote on the passage.
Councilmember Jones.
Yes.
Reesner.
Yes.
Snee.
Yes.
Dougherty.
Yes.
Decker.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
And Horniman.
Yes.
Resolution 26-32 passes with a vote of 7-0.
Resolution number 2026-33, introduced by Ashley Decker. A resolution approving mayor's appointment of Christopher Mansour to serve an unexpired term on the Civil Service Commission from the effective date of this resolution until December 31st, 2026.
This is the first reading of Resolution 26-33. Councilmember Decker.
Madam President, I move for passage of Resolution 2633.
There's a motion for passage of Resolution 26-33. Is there a second? Councilmember Hayes.
I'd like to second that motion.
Thank you. There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, we will vote on the passage.
Councilmember Jones.
Yes.
Reesner.
Yes.
Snee.
Yes.
Dougherty.
Yes.
Decker.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
And Horniman.
Yes.
Resolution 26-33 passes with a vote of 7-0.
Resolution number 2026-34, introduced by Ashley Decker, a resolution approving mayor's appointment of Mary Phillips to serve a 2-year term on the Fair Housing Board from January 1st, 2026 until December 31st, 2027.
This is the first reading of Resolution 26-34. Councilmember Decker.
Madam President, I move for passage of Resolution 2634.
Thank you. There's a motion for passage of Resolution 26-34. Is there a second? Councilmember Jones.
I second that motion, Madam President.
Thank you. There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? We will vote on the passage.
Councilmember Jones.
Yes.
Reesner.
Yes.
Snee.
Yes.
Dougherty.
Yes.
Decker.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
And Horniman.
Yes.
Resolution 26-34 passes with a vote of 7-0.
Resolution number 2026-35, introduced by Ashley Decker, a resolution approving mayor's appointment of Kathy Kaufman to serve a 2-year term on the Investment Advisory Committee from January 1st, 2026 until December 31st, 2027.
This is the first reading of Resolution 26-35. Councilmember Decker.
Madam President, I move to approve Resolution 2635.
There's a motion for passage of Resolution 26-35. Is there a second? Councilmember Reesner.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, we will vote on the passage.
Councilmember Jones.
Yes.
Reesner.
Yes.
Snee.
Yes.
Dougherty.
Yes.
Decker.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
And Horniman.
Yes.
Resolution 26-35 passes with a vote of 7-0.
Resolution number 2026-36, introduced by Ashley Decker, a resolution approving mayor's reappointment of Brenda Young to serve a 5-year term on the Tree Commission from January 1st, 2026 until December 31st, 2030.
This is the first reading of Resolution 26-36. Councilmember Decker.
Madam President, I move for passage of Resolution 2636.
Thank you. There's a motion for passage of Resolution 26-36. Is there a second? Councilmember Snee.
Yes, I'd like to second that motion.
Right, thank you. There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Councilmember Horniman.
I just want to thank everyone that is on this list that is signing up to serve on these boards and commissions and do work for the city and to take up their own time to do it. And I want to thank the mayor for putting together a list of really, really good candidates as well.
Yeah, very much agree. Similar to what we've seen before. I mean, some of these are 5-year terms. That's a very long commitment, and we very much appreciate that time. But all of these are very important, so thank you. All right, we will vote on the passage.
Councilmember Jones.
Yes.
Reesner.
Yes.
Snee.
Yes.
Dougherty.
Yes.
Decker.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
And Horniman.
Yes.
Resolution 26-36 passes with a vote of 7-0.
Ordinance number 2026-13, introduced by Ashley Decker, an ordinance amending Section 165.06 of the Codified Ordinances to enact Subdivision D to provide holiday pay for all full-time employees of the city except those included in collective bargaining agreements.
This is the third reading of Ordinance 26-13.
Madam President, I move for passage of Ordinance 2613.
Thank you. There's a motion for passage of Ordinance 26-13. Is there a second? Councilmember Dougherty.
I second that motion, Madam President.
Thank you. There's a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yeah, just a reminder that city employees currently do not get holiday pay, yet they're often required to work on the holiday, essentially losing that holiday. So this ordinance provides them with additional compensation to work the holiday. Some staff that might take advantage of this are maybe on the day of the fireworks, police working, or working for the pools, and engineering for city inspections.
Thank you. City Administrator.
Yes, thank you, Council President. And just wanted to clarify as well, even though it's written that it excludes collective bargaining agreements, most of the employees covered by collective bargaining agreements, because a lot of those are 24/7, because we need those employees at all times, they are already receiving holiday pay, or if somebody has to come in for a snow emergency or something like that, those are covered in those situations. So this will cover the non-union employees who previously were unable to take advantage of that.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Okay, we will vote on the passage.
Councilmember Jones.
Yes.
Reesner.
Yes.
Snee.
Yes.
Dougherty.
Yes.
Decker.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
And Horniman.
Yes.
Ordinance 26-13 passes with a vote of 7-0.
Ordinance number 2026-15, introduced by Scott Horniman, an ordinance authorizing the city administrator to apply to and receive from the Northeast Ohio Public Energy Council, NOPEC, the 2026 Energized Community Grant and declaring an emergency.
This is the second reading of ordinance 26-15.
Ordinance number 2026-18, introduced by Kevin Reesner, an ordinance to revise the codified ordinances by adopting replacement pages thereto and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. This is the first reading of ordinance 26-18.
Ordinance number 2026-19, introduced by John Hayes, an ordinance accepting the dedication of the extension of a street named Walker Street, located in the 1st and 4th wards of the city of Tiffin, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
This is the first reading of ordinance 26-19. Councilmember Hayes.
Thank you. I'd like to motion for immediate passage of ordinance 2026-19, suspending council's 3 reading rule.
Thank you. There's a motion for suspension of council's 3 reading rule and immediate passage of ordinance 26-19. Is there a second? Councilmember Dougherty.
I second that motion, Madam President.
Thank you. So motion and a second. Any discussion? Councilmember Hayes.
Yes, this is the extension of Walker Street as a result of the completion of the Heidelberg Fieldhouse project. The final plat has been approved by the Planning Commission. The road is already being used, and this will just formally recognize the road as a street in the city of Tiffin.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Okay, we will first vote on the suspension.
Councilmember Jones.
Yes.
Reesner.
Yes.
Snee.
Yes.
Dougherty.
Yes.
Decker.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
Horniman.
Yes.
Suspension passes with a vote of 7-0. We'll now vote on the emergency.
Councilmember Jones.
Yes.
Reesner.
Yes.
Snee.
Yes.
Dougherty.
Yes.
Decker.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
And Horniman.
Yes.
Emergency passes with a vote of 7-0. We'll now vote on the passage.
Councilmember Jones.
Yes.
Reesner.
Yes.
Snee.
Yes.
Dougherty.
Yes.
Decker.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
And Horniman.
Yes.
Ordinance 26-19 passes with a vote of 7-0.
Ordinance number 2026-20, introduced by Kevin Reesner, an ordinance amending the 2026 Budget Ordinance 2025-98 to appropriate funds into the City Hall budget.
Thank you. This is the first reading of ordinance 26-20. Councilmember Reesner.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for immediate passage of ordinance 2026-20, suspending city council's 3 reading rule.
Thank you. There's a motion to suspend council's 3 reading rule and immediate passage of ordinance 26-20. Is there a second? Councilmember Jones.
I will second that motion, Madam President. Sorry, I'll get it out.
That's okay. There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Councilmember Reesner.
This is for the roof and ceiling insurance payment, City Hall. This transfers $10,396.51 to the general fund.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All right, we will first vote on the suspension.
Councilmember Jones.
Yes.
Reesner.
Yes.
Snee.
Yes.
Dougherty.
Yes.
Decker.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
And Horniman.
Yes.
Suspension passes with a vote of 7-0. We'll now vote on the passage.
Councilmember Jones.
Yes.
Reesner.
Yes.
Snee.
Yes.
Dougherty.
Yes.
Decker.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
And Horniman.
Yes.
Ordinance 26-20 passes with a vote of 7-0.
That concludes the legislation, Madam President.
All right, we are now under other business. I know we have quite a few committee meetings to schedule. Councilmember Decker, we can start with you.
I'd like to announce a Personnel and Labor Relations meeting on Monday, March 9th at 5:15 PM.
Do you want to announce the purpose?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I do. For the purpose of discussing mayor's request for legislation 2613, 2615, and 2618.
Thank you.
If I may, Madam President. Mr. Horniman, would you like to go second since I have 4 things on my docket?
Sure.
Okay.
I figure we'll be here for all of them, most of us. All right, thanks.
Councilmember Hardeman.
Thank you, Madam President. I would like to announce an Economic Development and Downtown Planning Committee meeting for March 7th, immediately following the Personnel and Labor Relations Committee meeting. The purpose of this meeting is to discuss Mayor's Request 26-12, the Tax Incentive Review Council recommendations, and anything else that may come before that committee.
Perfect. Thank you.
It's March 9th, right?
Yes.
Not the 7th.
Not the 7th,
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
Did I say the
You said the
7th?
7th. I just want to make sure.
He wants Friday night meetings.
Crack that whip, Mr. Horniman. I love it. Get your commuting here on a
I
Friday.
do like days of the week.
Councilmember Snee.
Do I need to announce the meeting for?
Yes,
that one?
please.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to announce the meeting for the Recreation and Public Property Committee. And it'll be on the 9th of March, following the other committee meetings. And it's dealing with the SIDEC transfer to the city property on 12th and 17th North Washington Street.
Perfect. Thank you.
And any other business that may come before the committee.
Perfect.
I don't have a number assigned to it.
Nope, that's perfect. Good description. Councilmember Doherty.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to announce a Law and Community Planning Committee meeting on March 9th, 2026, immediately following the Recreation and Public Property Committee meeting at City Council chambers to discuss Mayor's request for legislation number 26-14, the CHIP program 2026. Also, Mayor's request for 26-16, the temporary moratorium on the data centers. Also, Mayor's request for legislation 26-17, which is the farm lease agreement. And lastly, we also be discussing the Frontier Community Service Letter dated February 13, 2026 regarding the Village of Seneca Place and any other business that may come before us.
Thank you. All right. Anything else for council this evening? Okay. Seeing nothing, we could adjourn. Thank you all.
A lot of legislation happening.
Yes, Monday the 9th is going to be long.
Like everyone will be back here. You're on the committee. You're on one of the committees, right? Actually, sure. I could see all of them.
No, thank you.
Who wants my committee? I'm done with law and community planning, baby.
I'm on there. I'm on it.
You're on it? All right, Mr. Snee, I appreciate you, baby.
Absolutely.
Law, community, personnel relations. Yeah.
Kyle, I had that committee
I
during
can't remember when I announced committee meeting.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, okay.
Dora, and then also the golf carts and other.
I'm available all the time right now, so you can make the meeting.
I don't even know why I
You can
didn't.
make the meeting at noon for like.
Okay,
I was trying to look at what I was looking at that had a number 7 on it.